Hello, can you hear me now? All right, I do believe we're in business. Okay, can you still hear me? Sweet. Okay, I think we're good. All right, let's get started. Okay, we're gonna get started with a MotoStars video. Looks like I'm still having some audio issues. Okay, so nope, still having a bit of a problem here. How about now? Okay. I am still trying to work this out. I may just cancel stream if I can't get this sorted out here soon. I really do not like the SteelSeries application. It does not make things easy. Alright, let's see if I can get a game loaded and see what happens. Okay, so it plays games just fine. Just not YouTube videos. Okay. Now that I know that, nothing I play on a website is going to work as far as sound. Which I guess is technically fine for right now. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I do apologize for the massive delay. If you don't have Scuf, did you really even stream? But initially, I was late due to having to do a music lesson, and so that's why I was late. Anyway, so we're gonna get started here. Insane Motorcycle Crashes Every New Rider Should See by MotoStars. Alright. And this one looks like he was rear-ended on the highway. Let me maximize this so you guys get a better view. Alright, looks like he's wearing all the proper gear at least, and you can't really do anything about being rear-ended. Alright, so here we got back roads riding, no gear except for helmet and gloves. Wait, what did he hit? I didn't see anything other than other than tar snakes. I didn't see him hit anything actually. Oh, he got rear-ended. I didn't see his buddy behind him till just now, so he got rear-ended by his buddy riding behind him. Alright, so doing some lane splitting, which is unnecessary in open lanes, and an unsignaled lane change by a truck not paying attention. The guy was lane splitting, so who knows if he even had a chance of seeing him to begin with. Alright, anyway, sorry, I'm still kind of messed up from all the scuff earlier. First my model wouldn't load, and now my sound's bugging out. But at least my microphone's working. So yeah, no gear. Looks like he clipped his leg, maybe. But yeah, it was unsignaled lane change by a truck not paying attention while we were lane splitting. Alright, here we're coming up to an intersection. At these intersections, you know, you got to be aware of all cars from all directions. On the plus side, it does look like the message box across all my streaming locations is working, so that's cool. But yeah, got to be aware of all directions of an intersection. And not only did he not slow down for the yield, but he didn't even slow down to make the turn properly. So this was all on him. Nice of that lady to see if he's doing alright, though. Alright, here we got this guy. barely missed a deer. Alright, so normally you would think here, where's my mouse? There it is. You would think that these cars here would be a problem, just by the nature of cars usually are. So here we go, riding along, this car stay in place, good, maintaining nice decent speed, and out of nowhere, wild animal, and it looks like he barely missed it too. Lucky him. Alright, so here we got guy coming around a tight corner, and looks like he slid. Alright, we got off-road shenanigans, don't really care. Alright, we got... Normally I would think this was a track, but this looks like a standard road. Probably somewhere in Europe. And it looks like his buddy might have hit the guardrail. Yep, he hit the guardrail, went over the guardrail. Holy smokes. It's amazing that guy actually saw it. Alright, let's turn around here. Check on our buddy. Make sure he's conscious and okay. Make sure the bike is okay, and then you want to try and block traffic down a bit, so that way other oncoming cars don't have any issues. Okay. Riding along at night. Swerving around traffic. Oh, but he hits the guardrail. Or not the guardrail, the curb. That's the word I was looking for, curb. Okay, and the bike goes sliding along. I'm still trying to fix my audio in the meantime. It looks like he actually went over some train tracks there. Alright, and we come up on an accident that has already happened. This looks like it might be a continuation of the one we watched in the beginning, to be honest. Started to hear some kind of pulse in my headphones. It was really weird. Alright, so we got a car coming up out of nowhere, and he's like splitting that road line. It looks like he might have some kind of issue with the motorcyclists. Okay, so we got the car coming out of nowhere. Nearly hits 2 motorcyclists in the process. And like I always say, do not engage. You know, throw your hand signs and go on. But don't engage because they could always hit you and make things way worse. Ready, night in a roundabout, you got this car coming over here. Let's rewind it a bit because I'm pretty sure the bike did not slow down at all. Okay, so this guy should be yielding for us, although he made it to the intersection first, but he moves way slower. And the motorcyclist needs to be waiting for this car, so all 3 of them kind of doing stuff wrong here. But I will say, the motorcyclist is kind of at fault here because he did not slow down for the car on his left, which he really ought to have slowed down anyway because this truck that's pulling into that's already in the intersection is already there, and he moves way faster, so he really should be slowing down to begin with. Alright. Okay. So yeah, otherwise that happens, and it could have been worse, but good on him for, you know, being able to stop in time. Alright. Got a guy in the middle of the road. Wow, that is really close. And I did not make those pauses in the video. Those were there by default. Excuse me. Alright. We are in Europe somewhere. Probably England. Alright, so I don't know why this car thought it was alright to do what he was doing. Oh yeah, definitely England. Car in the, or flag in the top there. But yeah, I don't know why this car thought it was alright to try to bully the motorcycle. I mean, yeah, lane splitting is probably okay there, but it doesn't mean you get to put the motor... Okay, why... One question I have is, why is the motorcycle riding with his emergencies on? I've not really seen that unless it was inclement weather. 2, this car is definitely at fault regardless of the goofiness of the emergency flashers. Although blinking lights do bring attention to you, the motorcycle rider, especially in low light conditions. So yeah, it's a bit silly, but at least, you know, he's being safe. This gray car is at fault because he comes over 2 lanes of traffic and without checking his mirrors or his window or blind spots, and he barely clips the motorcycle. And that dude that got hit, that motorcycle that got hit, had a lot milder reaction than I would have, to be sure. Alright, and when you're in a tunnel, you must rev the engine. That is law, everywhere you go. I do not condone the hooligan nonsense, and I definitely wouldn't stop for Karen's husband here. Oh wait, that's actually a Karen. It looked like a dude. Dude, if you're gonna do that on a dirt bike, flipping the finger, you're not faster, you need to be doing something that they can't do. Something like that. Or going way out of the way onto the dirt where they can't follow. But like I said, I wouldn't be interacting with that person to begin with. I would have just gone on my way. Oh, and they just went down out of nowhere. Oh, they better hurry. They're spilling gas. That's always rough to see. People struggling to get their bike up like that. Looks like we're about to get into a fight. Looks like they've already hit somebody though. There's a visor on the ground. Yeah, if you're not involved, don't escalate anything, but definitely document and try to calm people down, but you won't necessarily always be able to. But uh, definitely, take videos, take photos, record everything. Do not involve yourself in somebody else's altercation. And even if you are directly involved, do not get physical because that brings a whole other host of charges, potentially. And I would like for people to avoid those, personally. I would not be passing in this situation, especially with a tight turn coming up, for several reasons. This being the least of them. This guy who's just being like a complete and utter jerk. Like, that's just unsafe. Like, oh, so this is what happened. So this is how it all started. Yeah, I can understand the getting physical. I understand it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand it. Alright, who's gonna be the one who screws up here? It's always the Prius's fault. Remember that. No matter what happens, it's always the fault of the Prius. Those are some knobby tires on that motorcycle. Okay, there was literally nothing there. Like, why bother putting that in this video? Like, nothing happened. Alright. Let's see here. We got a car coming into our lane. Good swerve. Good swerve. Getting out of the way. I thought. I think this is Japan, judging by the writing on the road. I thought they were supposed to be all polite and whatnot. So wouldn't it make more sense for the Volkswagen to pass on the right rather than trying to cut over the two lines? No gear here. Oh, and that's a car crash. We don't care about a car crash. Other than, yeah, be a decent human being, make sure everybody's okay, call 911 if you need to. But car crashes is not why we're here. Alright, that video was nice and slow. Oh, I found out my video problem. Woohoo! Alright, excellent. Okay. Alright, so what we got going on here is another one by MotoStars. This one is called Biker Flew Onto a Car Roof. Obviously, there's going to be more than that going on here, but let's start. And obviously, we're not going to get to the headline one. Alright, let's turn off the closed captioning. let's see what we got going on here. Going way too fast, these guys. I'm surprised only one of them crashed out and low-sided. So that was a combination. I want to see if he actually hit anything. Like, nope. Looks like maybe just like a crack in the road, like a dip from trucks going around that corners. Alright. So that was probably that issue. He, going too fast, it probably hit a dip in the road. And that's probably what caused him to low side, other than the massive amounts of speed that they were doing. Alright, let's maximize this so you guys get a better view. Make sure everybody's okay. Yep, get that bike off of his foot. Oh, I bet that... Oh, you see the way he was moving his hands? I'll bet that exhaust was super hot. Alright. I bet his hands feel like they're on fire. Nobody's wearing gear, but honestly, they don't... It doesn't look... Yeah, that's just a Nike sweatshirt. Honestly, it doesn't look like anybody's too bad. Probably some road rash. And that Yamaha does have a special place in my heart because that was my first motorcycle. Was a MT-07. Alright, so let's back up a bit. I want to see how this guy just completely missed the turn. Oh, he was target fixated like nobody's business. Like, he was just off looking at the trees, and he ended up in the trees. He's lucky that bike was light enough for him to do that. My bike weighs nearly 800 pounds, and there's no way I can push on it from the opposite side to get it to stand on end. Dude is lucky. Alright, what do we got here? Got a big old motorcycle, got a car merging into our lane. I did not see any blinkers, but that does not mean that there aren't any. Alright, so we got this guy coming in over... Oh, at least he noticed. Honestly, I don't think he came over far enough to warrant the hand gestures, because, I mean, you still had essentially what is a whole lane. He's only, you know, a wheel's length over. So, I mean, yeah, a little scary, but I don't think it warrants such a big response, personally. Alright, we got back roads. Just, it looks like a nice easy ride. I don't see what the... Oh, I think he hit a dip or a bump. Yep. Okay, so here in a couple of seconds we're going to see the camera bounce, and that's probably going to be what he hit. So there's one bounce. In fact, I say you could probably see it right here. And that's probably what they hit. Yep, right there. They hit like a bump or a really big rock, and that caused them to lose their line, and that's how they went over. They look fairly well geared up, so at least they should be okay, more or less. Probably more shaken than anything. Although the bike bounce like completely flipped a 180. It's completely facing the opposite direction that they were going. Oh, he hit some dirt. He hit some gravel for sure. You can actually see it like right there. Oh no, he got on the paint. So those of you that don't know, road paint is really slippery, especially on vehicles that don't necessarily have a whole lot of traction. And when you hit this really slippery road paint on a motorcycle, it can cause you to lose traction. Although usually you only hear that very rarely, mostly, or at least I don't hear of it that often personally. Um, but it can happen. You get on that road paint, you lose traction. And at least he managed to get his control back. Oh, this is straight up not paying attention. He is fixated on anything other than the vehicle in front of him, because I guarantee you he's going to rear in that Lexus. Oh, yep, there it is. That's the one where he ends up on the car. Alright, so riding at night, not paying attention, and end up way out in the weeds. And he maintained. This person maintained. They did not fall off. I am impressed. I'm very impressed. That was pretty cool. That is a level of body and motorcycle control that all should aspire to. So that way, when something does happen, you don't crash onto the side of the road. Like I said, that was really cool to see that he was able to maintain it. Not good that he lost all semblance of paying attention and ended up in that position in the first place. Why would they do that? Like, go from one lane to the other like that super quick? Like, that makes no sense. Unless you're avoiding people, like a wreck. Okay, so this motorcycle is just riding carelessly. Yeah, he kind of deserved it. Well, not deserved, because nobody deserves to be in a car wreck, realistically, but he was kind of pushing his luck, for sure. Riding like that, and then riding quick, and then riding up on other cars. Dude, do not engage. But to be fair, that van did kind of just drive off from the scene of an accident. All right, let's see what we can.
Touch there. You. Or you knocked me down there, man. You knocked me down. Lady, don't touch there. You knocked me down.
This sounds like AI translation.
But I wasn't. You came in all over. I'm recording here. Look, I'm recording.
This sounds like such
over
AI.
There. Look. Oh, you messed up my bike. Over there.
Yeah,
because you knocked me down. You broke my bike.
This is like some sad, crappy AI translation. That was terrible. I would say that this is probably more or less the motorcyclist's fault and not the van driver's fault. Although, however, the van driver did. It was basically a hit and run. They hit each other and the van ran. So I don't know where this is. Clearly, it's not America, because the van would have got charged with a hit and run. I don't know how they would have sorted out who hit who and who was at fault for the initial accident, but the van was a hit and run incident for sure. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, this is one of those biker club gatekeeping nonsense where they're like, you can't pass us, we're in a biker club. We're old fogies and you gotta listen to us because we're in a motorcycle club and you're not allowed to pass us, so you need to show respect and get behind us. No, that is crap. You do not have to do that. And any motorcycle club that does that, they're assholes. I said it. And any motorcycle club member that happens to hear this, you can send me an email or send me a mean tweet. I don't care. If you act like this and you're to your fellow motorcyclists, you are dirt. Yeah, see, he's trying to gatekeep because you're not, according to them, you're not supposed to pass their club members. Yeah, they can get as mad as they want. It doesn't matter. Apparently, they forgot that this is America and anybody and everybody can carry guns. You act like that in the wrong town, you get shot. I don't care what club you're from. And yes, I know they're from the Mongols. They're not nice people in general. But I don't care who you are. You act like that to the wrong stranger anywhere. Uh, you can and probably will get shot depending on where you are, regardless of what motorcycle club you're from. Oh yeah, what a dick. Yeah, I would have called the cops on him. Fuck him. YouTube can YouTube can block this video. I don't care. Yeah, going by what's written at the bottom of the screen, yeah, this random biker did not cut those guys off. It's on video. They're just looking to pick fights because they think they're cool because they're Mongols. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, so it looks like somebody's going to make a bad turn. Yep, unsignaled turn at an inopportune time. Luckily, all the motorcyclists were paying attention, and yeah, that was pretty poorly timed on the car's part. They definitely were not paying attention to the opposing traffic. Definitely the fault of the car. But it's a non-issue because nobody got hit, so you just move on. Alright, I don't know. Okay, yeah, that's unsignaled lane change. That's definitely the car's fault. I can't say anything about the motorcyclist's speed because we can't see the dashboard. Alright, intersections. So with intersections, everybody has their own philosophies as far as how quickly you should get off the line. But either way, regardless, you really ought to pay attention to all the cars at this massive intersection and make sure that it's something that you can actually do safely. Because as we've seen in previous videos, cars just come out of nowhere and run red lights, and semis happen sometimes too. Or they, like this guy, make a slow turn and don't get up to speed at any time. And it was just like a really poorly timed turn. They were well within their reason to turn, they just weren't paying attention to other vehicles that were on the road. Alright, let's see. This next clip here, judging from what I see, I'm gonna bet that station wagon is gonna do something shady. And it's gonna involve this motorcycle. Oh no, I was wrong. It's the white SUV, thinking they're going to turn one way, and then nope, change their mind, go the other way, and now they're turning, so they can't make up their mind. And hopefully this motorcyclist doesn't get rear-ended, and they're not going to go, so the Toyota just goes around them. All right, so this is track. Although I do kind of want to see the moment they slide. Too much. too much on it. Alright, let's see if we can get in. Okay, so we don't really have anything here. We just got an angry bike. Not even a biker, he's on a scooter. Got an angry Californian. And the scooter makes an illegal turn. Call the cops. Alright, no gear except gloves and a helmet. Nobody's paying attention to anything at all. I don't even know if the car knows where they're going because there's nothing there. Not a driveway, not a parking lot. They just like jumped the curb. And the motorcyclist hit the car. So don't drive off. Pull in for sure. Wait, did they meet or not? Maybe. I can't tell. I could go either way on it. Um, I will say if they hit each other, the biker should pull on the parking lot. If they didn't hit each other, then obviously the motorcycle is free to go and not involve himself with the red SUV any more than he needed to. Okay, that's just rude. Blowing debris onto onto the motorcyclist. That's just rude. That Mercedes is, oh my goodness. Holy crap. That's wild. Just, I mean, I know that most people don't care about pedestrians, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody give that much of a flagrant disregard to a pedestrian. That's pretty darn crazy. Alright, so with these big, massive traffic lines, um, I would say that it's not a good idea to just let people through. Uh, because it causes accidents. So I don't know. That's not something that I would do as far as letting cars through. And as a motorcyclist, you kind of got to be wary of other cars that are on the side of the intersection that other cars are coming through, because the oncoming car's vision or view of you is blocked by the very car that thinks they're doing something nice for the other traffic. Yep, flash your brights so that other cars know you're there. That's a good idea. And so that way this guy stops trying to crowd the line. This has got to be some kind of like event, because there's no way that that's just normal parking for a housing development, like a apartment. All right, what? Loose dog. All right, not really anything there beyond that. Okay. So let's pull up a game. What shall we play today? Let's continue with Outer Worlds. Alright, let me change my things in Kick. Change my category. Change my category. Okay, my controller's acting weird. Okay, there we go. Okay, ask Hiram for help. Okay, it looks like I have to follow a set road.
Look up. That makeshift bridge, we gotta cross it. First we go under, then hook around to the left.
multiple times that I've tried playing this game, I've never gone through here.
You're a deft hand with a knife.
Alright. Oh, I bet I'm over encumbered. Do. Okay, let's see what we can get rid of for gun or weapons. Looking through my stuff. Alright. I think that pretty well clears up my inventory.
Tunnel here.
No, there's no tunnel here.
That assist was a violation of corporate law if I ever saw one. Since it was to my benefit, and we're largely in lawless lands, I'll look the other way. C3 owes you one, stranger.
Awfully sensible for a businessman, aren't you?
It's what I'm known for. Or what I'm usually known for, the occasional mishap notwithstanding. You haven't seen Constance, have you? Ah, there's her torso. And that'll be her legs over yonder, never mind. I'm Bertold.
What in the void are you thinking, creeping around a mannequin like that?
At the time, I was thinking, please don't see me, hola, I don't want to die, nah. Now I'm thinking it was stupid to come in here. Killing marauders and hooligans, as I am handsomely paid to do. Of course, as me and Constance discovered, they ain't the only forms of life inhabiting these caverns. I owe you a debt for saving my neck, stranger, and I mean to pay it. There's a station up the way. It's where my C3s are posted. We can talk more there where it's safe. I'll be on my way, once I've gathered up Constance's parts.
This game lately has been, or maybe it's my luck, but it's been very liberal with giving me the Flammenwerfers. Pretty stingy with the loot, man.
Here we are. Told you we'd make it in one piece. Station ain't too far now.
Hey you! Get over here! There are marauders up ahead!
How many years do you think it took?
Oh, no.
This station's under the protection of the corporate compliance crew. You a marauder? 'Cause me and my sunshine, that's my gun if you were wondering, we don't take kindly to marauders. Is that a trick question? Never mind. Marauders ain't smart enough to be asking those. That's good, I guess, as I wasn't looking forward to double tapping you. You're clear, but I would caution you against pressing on ahead. This station's plumb crawling with marauders, you know?
Shouldn't you be doing some? It's your job to protect the station. Thanks for the tip.
Hey, we're here to help. Long as the paperwork's done and the pay's good. Me and Sunshine are doing exactly what we've been tasked with, and that's guarding these big old Devil's Peak horns. There is nothing I'd enjoy more, but the C3s play it by the book. Usually. Go petition the boss man. Maybe you can convince him to alter my duties. You ought to talk to my crew. They're guarding a small barracks to the southeast, by the edge of the mountain. See that path that runs underneath that giant archway? Follow it on down. There's a little station near the cliff. You'll find the rest of my crew there.
Alright, let's see what the journal says.
No one saw me trip over that ramp.
Hello. Hey, thanks, Nines. I appreciate it. You can smell my fear, huh, Smoo? I do appreciate it. I tried to make it, but my music lesson ran a little long. So what did I miss? Model not moving. Huh. Weird. I'm moving. Oh, your stream's frozen. Okay, cool. So what all was going on? I know you you had posted and said it was going to be a pretty big stream.
Hey, Mannequin Slayer. Glad you made it in one piece. After all, not everyone's so lucky.
Oh,
Meet my
okay.
corporate compliance crew. Then check out our weapons
Was
locker
fun, huh?
inside.
That sounds
I reckon
really
you'll find
sarcastic.
something you like. Then we call it even between us.
Alright, let's see. What are you guys guarding in the station?
We were hired to do so. Why else? You did get the memo that we're mercenaries? Our client's a bit unorthodox, sure. He calls himself the broker. And
Oh, it was
prefers the
actually
glow of
fun.
a terminal to flesh and blood interaction.
Okay, cool.
But
I'm glad it was
I can't
enjoyable.
fault his work ethic.
I'm just...
Our current gig's to stop, by means of lethal force, any creatures exiting the caverns, including but not limited to marauders, iconoclasts, and agents operating for the MSI.
It was so fun, huh? So... Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Alright, I was misreading and misunderstanding. Okay. Okay. Got it. I'm glad you guys had fun. When I saw Reunion and then I saw that name, I was like, oh, that definitely was anything but fun.
You drive a hard bargain, Mannequin Slayer. It don't make much financial sense for C3 to expend
So what games
resources
were you
on
guys
any
playing?
killing beyond the contract stipulations. As the Marauders didn't enter from the caves, the requirements are murky. At the same time, we do want to keep our client alive until the payment's cleared. We recommended the client safeguard himself, so I don't expect
Outlast
the main
Trials.
doors
That's
will be
not one.
accessible.
Is that
Find
is
a
that
way
one
to
of
open
those
them, and we'll clear any hostiles on the inside.
indie small games that you
I
normally
best
play?
radio ahead for
Because
Joy
I'm
and
not
Hudson
familiar
to
with
prep
that
for
one.
us. They'll be at the station entrance, ready with our finest auto mechanicals to assist you. C3s, prepare to move out.
Multiplayer of Outlast. Horror game. Okay. Outlast is such a good game for... Okay, yeah, I've never played that game.
If I hear you say survival of the fittest one more time, I'm gonna lose it.
Multiplayer of
Survival's about
Outlast.
persistence and luck.
Okay.
Boss man said you'd
So
be.
weapon proficiency and
Outlast
adaptive
is such a
skills
good
play
game
no
for
part
him.
whatsoever. in your
Okay,
mind.
yeah, I've never played that game.
If it does, it ain't enough. I've gone and outlived the best hunters I ever knew. If I hear you say
It is neither luck nor random chance. At times, destiny may not be there, but there is a reason for life events. Even if
Oh, no, I appreciate the raid. I understand you got stuff to do. I do appreciate it. I was probably gonna, you guys, you have a good night. I was probably gonna play a game for about an hour, and then I was probably gonna head off to bed too. I'm an old timer, and we gotta go to bed early. So I was gonna probably play this for about an hour and then head off.
pirates.
Have a good night. Enjoy
Fox
your
Radio
weekend.
ahead. Said I'm to
Hopefully
call
I'll
you.
catch up with you
Provide
later.
whatever support you need.
This weekend
If
if
those
you're streaming
bastards
again.
start shooting, well, I gotta warn you, my. You're A-okay, stranger. Hear that, Hudson? It's payday.
So what is everybody else's plans for the weekend? Get out. I've not seen any more gunfire. Get out. I've not seen any more gunfire. I've not seen any more gunfire. I was getting some mad feedback in my headset because my my dashboard unmuted and for some reason and just started playing all the sounds double in my head. So I thought I was having a lot more gunfire than I actually was. So since I have more than just me here, I was considering maybe occasionally doing my music practice on here. But I don't know if listening to somebody play an instrument badly is anything anybody would even be interested in listening to. So if you have opinions,
so since I
would
have
love
more
to
than
hear
just
it.
me here, I was considering maybe occasionally doing.
Alright. But yeah, if you guys think that listening to somebody practice music is something that might be interesting to anybody, or if it's a bad idea, either way, I appreciate any and all input. Because right now, motorcycle stuff is not cutting it, and so I got to do something.
can't tell if you're brave or simply touched in the head. What in the galaxy are you doing sniffing around my station? Unless you are, in fact, trying to suicide by Marauder? And you, Nyoka, what are you doing lugging a stranger into my station?
You could use the socialization, you son of a bitch. Also, he hired me.
To what purpose? I happen to have some significant problems I am dealing with right now. Marauders, running out of purple berry wine 3 days ago, not being able to bloody broadcast. No. We'll deal with information-related business later. As I said, there are bigger problems threatening my life and livelihood at this very moment. The Marauders want me dead. And since my hired hands have clearly turned idle, it appears I need you to clear out the threat. As my newest contractor, you may call me the Broker.
Or we can call you Hiram, on account of that's your damn name, and doubly on the account of the Broker being a dumbass alternative.
What? Everyone calls me that, aside from you. Oh, now they'll take action. It's about time, I tell you. I'm up to my neck in Marauders in here, which, by the by, they were supposed to prevent. I barricaded the broadcast center, but I can only hold out for so long. Clear the Marauders out, and I'll pay you double the going rate. They destroy the transmission equipment, and I'll be out of business. The elevator and doors to the second floor are back online. Hurry before I have to lock them down again. Too many, considering I hired a bunch of no-good mercs to keep them out in the first place. Already they've caused considerable damage to the station's property. If they take down the broadcast equipment, I'll be out of a job, permanently.
I guess I'll see what I can do. Alright. Let's see. Where do I could just go in.
Hey, elevators to your right. Get ready. C3's entering through the main doors as we speak. About damn time.
Okay, where is this elevator supposed to be? He said it was to my right. Unless I am completely blind. I wonder if he meant this.
Nicely done.
Nope, that is what he meant. Okay. But he gave me no way to open it other than a ticket. Alright, let's change my gear. This is not where he meant for me to go. I'm so lost. So lost. Alright. Okay, maybe in here. Yes, in here. Okay. Wow, I'd never been that lost in a game before. Not in a long time.
Light 'em on fire, ladies and
come back for the stuff.
What was that?
Open fire! Better take a look.
That's the last of them, I think.
You're right, dissident. Waste of company ammo.
Alright, now let's collect all the gear we left behind. Okay, let's see. Did I skip anything else? Yes. Okay, so that's the front door. Alright, now I think we can go on to the next part. Yep.
Marauder free at last. I'll get the door. Do hurry on it.
Never thought I'd be ecstatic at having the walls painted in blood, but seeing as it's not mine, I'd say this calls for a celebration. And you got me my money's worth out of the C3s. I ought to have simply dealt with you in the first place.
Let's be a little greedy.
Yes, I believe I do. This ought to square our debt. One hefty payment for a highly valued service rendered. But I admit, I do wonder why Nyoka has brought you to me. Allow me to pose my question in another manner. Why, in the nebula, are you here? Ah yes, our little chat on the intercom. You're looking for the premier broker for all of Monarch, which you knew was me, clearly. Phineas must have sent you. He's the only one insane enough to send someone to Monarch to rush me. I knew it was only a matter of time before he came a-knocking. Look, I might be late, but I fulfill my contracts, always.
Oh, you do you? I have lost track of the number of beers you owe me for chasing Raptidons off your stoop.
You said that in a way that was almost believable.
I take offense to that. Look, okay. Just, it might take me a while this time. I am awaiting but a single incoming transmission containing the information we desire. But MSI and the Iconoclasts are clogging the airwaves from Stellar Bay and Amber Heights. In their war against each other, they're scrambling each other's outgoing transmissions. Exactly what I was thinking. They hurt us all with their pettiness. Which of course has inadvertently affected the incoming port and my livelihood.
Alright, let's see, what do we pick here? Cut them off from inside the station.
No, they're jamming the limited frequencies we have at our disposal. Nothing extraplanetary can get in or out until the frequency pollution thins out. The safest bet is to convince Graham and Sanjar to stop transmitting on their end. My former partner, Sanjar, transmits from his office in MSI's headquarters in the center of town. Don't let him try to fool you. While his messages might seem like gibberish, they are in reality coded business orders to off-world companies. I understand why he needs the bandwidth, but we had a deal and he's broadcasting ceaselessly. Amber Heights is one of the only surviving settlements outside of Stellar Bay. Graham Bryant and the Iconoclasts there got their hands on a working relay station. Now they're ceaselessly transmitting Philosophist ramblings on my airwaves. You do that, I'll be here, waiting on the receiving end. Luck be with you. I have a feeling you'll be needing a pinch of it, plus a vat of patience. Oh, great. I love doing pro bono work for friends.
Aw, you called us friends. I'd normally entertain your self-aggrandizing delusions, but this time it's important.
Important to you is not the same as important to me. Although I do recognize that you may have earned some goodwill during your months laboring for me.
Let's do the persuady thing.
Tug on my heartstrings, why don't you?
I thought about doing the other two,
Look, I'll do what I can.
but I think
all
my
right?
persuade is stronger.
Rebecca Hodges and Anders Wadsworth. They took a UDL contract back when Monarch went to shit, and I need to find them. I believe them to be on Terra 2.
If UDL hired 2 hunters back then, it would have been for creature clearing purposes, round one of their Spacer's Choice outposts. These are the coordinates for the outpost under the last UDL contract. Now scram. And, good luck.
Alright, let's
Be a doll and shoot any marauders you spot on the way down.
Alright. Let's see what kind of stuff he's hoarding in here. There is not a lot. But I will take everything he's got. Oh, I'm over the weight limit again. that's everything. Alright, we move on. Let's see what he's got in the safe.
Great work.
Let's see what's up here. Nothing. Alright. I've got like a bad habit of like searching everything for all items all the time. Alright, let's see the map. Where do we need to go?
This is the simple truth. We are all molecular machines. The body is a collection of atoms. The mind is a consequence of chemical reactions. Therefore, our lives are predestined along a path that is only visible in retrospect. Life is fated, and...
Well, I see you've had a sobering effect on our friend Nyoka.
Sir, please stop.
Forgive me, Celia. I couldn't help myself. Anyway, what can I do for you? Oh, yes. I'm going to be up all night with this. All those blanks waiting to be filled, boxes waiting to be ticked.
Try to control yourself, sir.
Have you any idea how powerful this is? Corporations have been toppled with less. But that's exactly what this is. The world isn't changed with guns and speeches, much as Graham and his followers would like to think, but rather with meticulous documentation.
And the dissemination of the proper ideals and information to those in the highest echelon of society.
On the contrary, I would say good documentation is for everyone. And the Bill of Liquidation/Transfer Form 52 is one of the most formidable pieces of data entry in all of Halcyon.
One false stroke can invalidate the entire document.
It's true. One of the old execs gave herself a stroke trying to fill out the exemption section.
For our part, a bill of liquidation/transfer Form 52 will protect our holdings on Monarch by temporarily assigning them to a pass-through entity once we drop our bomb on the board.
What Mr. Nandi means is that we...
Help us with this final matter, and we won't need to broadcast any... I have reason to believe... Mr. Nandi may be correct. If the masses learn that the board disregards their own ordinances, it'd give rise to dissent. MSI could use this information to their advantage. If we can find proof, I can use that as leverage to encourage certain powers that be to accept our Bolt 52 and reinstate us on the board. If someone is operating here, then Catherine's almost certainly supplying them out of Fallbrook. Perhaps she could be convinced to tell you where they are. That's part of the problem.
Don't get yourself...
Oh, she's not fun, scary like you. Once you, subtly work out where this corporate facility might be, bring back proof of its operation. Maybe some nice letterhead. Or someone working there. That would do it. A foolproof plan if I ever heard one. I'll leave the
Except for the fool who's carrying it out.
You weren't supposed to look. I asked you to delete it. Oh, yes. No doubt someone else was having a laugh at my expense before you. This has been my albatross. The great shame I give MSI. One of the executive... I thought... Apparently not. Perhaps... Thank you. I'm sorry, who? Ah, them. They're hardly a corporation. More like a jumped-up band of thugs with certain pretensions. The evidence I'm hoping for would implicate one of the board powers. Anti-Cleo, Spacer's Choice, UDL, someone of that caliber.
Not that we don't appreciate your diligence.
You think we're the problem? Have you even heard the nonsense Graham is spewing?
Unfortunately, it's hard to have not heard it around these parts.
It isn't easy keeping a town like Stellar Bay afloat, especially without the board's backing. We need that frequency to reach our trading partners. My, you know how to take control of a situation, don't you? It's warm in here. Is anyone else warm?
What he means to say is that we won't need that frequency once we're able to get MSI restored to the board.
If we can find proof that one of the companies on the board is also active on Monarch, that'll give me all the leverage I need. You have my word.
He better not be lying to me.
I don't mean to judge, but are you ever sober, Ms. Randall Wentworth?
Only when I got a job to do.
If he's lying to me, I'll not be happy about it.
stake my reputation on this being an ambush.
Keep your guard up. Whoever got to them may still be nearby.
Strangely dressed marauder. Beats away from the autoloader. Oh yeah, this is a trap. This is for sure a trap. Yo! I did not see that one.
Stay back. I may be wounded, but I'm still armed. How'd you get past my traps anyway?
Nanner peels that were more dangerous.
Well, you don't gotta be mean about it. What are you doing out here anyway? That feels a mite better. Wish I had something to give you, but I gnawed through my last Spratwurst an hour ago. Cave like this makes a handy place to store goods or hide out for a spell. And the traps usually keep gawkers out. Catherine had us making drops for some big shot client out here. And before you ask, I don't know who they are. Or were. The whole point of making drops in the middle of nowhere was to keep their identity and whereabouts a secret. The Marauders knew we were coming. rigged the bridge with explosives and everything. If they found us, my guess is they found the client too. Last I saw, they were heading back up the hill. You'll see it on the right when you get out of here. If you got the sand to go after him, I'm sure Catherine can reward you for your trouble. Me? I'm headed back to Fallbrook, just as soon as I've caught my breath.
And I'm going to take all your loot. Oh, right, because I'm carrying too much. Let's see, is there anything else that I have duplicates of? No. And no.
You make it look so easy.
Alright, I do believe I can get out of here now. Okay, he said up the hill.
Please, you don't have to do this. Just let us go over here. It's really uncomfortable. Look, I didn't mean what I said about your outfit. It's very fashionable, I swear.
Alright, I think I need to reload. Because I don't want to lose those guys, so I should probably sneak in there.
Please, you don't have to do this.
Okay, all bets are off. They blow them up anyway. Well, that kind of sucked. I'm gonna have to find a terminal key card because my hacking skill is not that high. Dude, you literally just stood there and did nothing. What are your settings, dude? Let's repair. Okay. Let's put on some actual fighting gear. Let's see what's in here. Oh, it's just the outside. Alright, let's... Okay, there's literally no data card. Alright, I gotta find this data card. It gave me a hacking level of 80, but I need a hacking level of 150. That is not what I need. Alright. Well, it is about that time of night anyway. Let me see if there's anybody that I can in turn flip over to somebody else. So give me 1 second here. Okay, let me see if there's anybody that I can let me see if there's anybody that I can Alright, I'm going to send you guys over to Don P. Bongwater, and so that way we can watch him do his AI stuff. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out his videos, they are pretty darn cool, and I do encourage you guys to check him out and some of his other videos.
The black is it would normally be fine, but it's red. It's on lobster theme. Let's make it. Let's stick with the theme just to